segment, I said that Dwight Howard would be a good fit for the Los Angeles Lakers, and I think it's a low-risk, high-reward move, and I think I got a Laker fan on the phone who may not necessarily be feeling that. Mo Cheese, I believe, is on the line. Mo Cheese, are you there, sir?
Let's talk, Swift. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm feeling good, feeling great. I think Dwight Howard should be a member of the Los Angeles Lakers. I think you might disagree with that.
I'm sure you do feel that way. I'm sure you would enjoy the NBA season and being able to talk about the circus that could become. And I think that's my biggest issue with Dwight Howard. We already have enough of what I think is going to be a media circus. I think we have enough of what's going to be a expectation from our team. I think if you add in more pieces to this, especially with the Dwight Howard, a player that already previously played for LA, has already had a bad track reputation in regards to other players. If it doesn't go well, then I think you start to really question the Lakers' brass again, number one, on decision making. And I think as much as you can eliminate those kind of questions, you have to do that work prior to bringing the White Howard in. Man, is only opening up the circus gates at this point. I would prefer, and maybe this is no better, I would prefer Carmelo Anthony over Dwight Howard.
See, now, the thing about that is, and I've heard that too, but Carmelo Anthony doesn't feel a need that the Lakers have. The Lakers got enough wing players. You're good there. You need a center because JaVale McGee, I don't think, is going to be a guy that needs to be asked to play big minutes for them. He only could play in spurts last year for the Lakers, and I don't think they want to ask him to do that again going into this year, especially in win-now mode that they're in. Dwight Howard, at least to me, again, all the off-the-court stuff is fair. The media circus that comes with Dwight Howard may not be worth the distraction. But at the same time, Dwight Howard feels a need.
What about
Yeah, go
what
ahead.
about Greg Monroe? I was gonna say, what about Greg Monroe possibly?
I mean,
Like, get a traditional center so that you can put AD at the 4 position where he wants to play. Greg Monroe is out there. He's a older version center, NBA type center, and he's gonna play in the post versus having a diva player on the team. You ask somebody that's low risk, high reward, if even a reward, but you fill the space and you know that you're not gonna have the issue. I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna listen, Clutch.
I appreciate the phone call, Mo. Cheese. Look, I don't think – I think Dwight Howard is much more athletic than Greg Monroe. Greg Monroe, yes, can fill the need of a traditional center position, but he's also a little bit slow. Doesn't get up and down the floor as well as what Dwight Howard could and used to do in his prime. And I'm not saying that Dwight Howard can still do those things at that high of a level at what he was doing in 2008, 2009, 2010, that kind of thing. But I think Dwight Howard still has enough left in the tank, more so than Greg Monroe can provide or Joakim Noah in a similar situation. I like it. Again, if you're a Laker fan and you have concerns about Dwight Howard and the baggage that comes along with him and the circus and everything that comes along with Dwight Howard, that's valid. That's extremely valid. And you're more than well within your right to question the validity of the decision-making abilities of a Rob Pelinka, of a Jeannie Buss, and the organization that runs the Los Angeles Lakers. That is ultimately fair. I get it and understand it. But at the same time, Dwight Howard fits a need. All the stuff that comes with him, I think the locker room is strong enough to overcome that and to handle that. Again, LeBron James dealt with J.R. Smith and everything that comes with J.R. Smith. If he can handle that, I think he can handle a guy, especially Dwight Howard, who's been there, done that, and had success on his own prior to having the problems that he's had ultimately over the last 4 to 5 years, and especially if he's healthy. Because if he's healthy, now we're talking about a completely different situation. With respect to stuff going on the football field again, we are in the middle of preseason NFL action, obviously. Man, one of the biggest conversations down here as far as the Dallas Cowboys are concerned is your man, Ezekiel Elliott. Now, Ezekiel Elliott is back in the States. He is back with not back with the Dallas Cowboys. He's back in the States. As he prepares for the upcoming 2019 NFL season. The Dallas Cowboys open up of course, on September 8th in week 1, and they hope to have Ezekiel Elliott on the football field. But one of the training camp storylines for this Dallas Cowboy football team has been rookie Memphis running back, former Memphis Tiger running back, Tony Pollard. Now, Tony Pollard has played really well in camp, looked really good this past weekend on Saturday in Hawaii against the Los Angeles Rams and his ex-teammate Darrell Henderson, who's playing for the Los Angeles Rams. Tony Pollard's looked really good in camp. Run the ball between the tackles, which is something that he doesn't necessarily do all that well, but showed he could do that. Is a dynamic guy who can get out in space, shifty back, pretty quick back, can run pretty fast, and he's looked really good. And he's had his opportunities to shine because obviously Ezekiel Elliott has not been in camp. Now, the Cowboys obviously have taken notice of Tony Pollard. Your man did miss and completely whiffed on a block on a blindside linebacker and nearly got Dak Prescott killed. Well, did get Dak Prescott killed because he got sacked for 12 yards for a 12-yard loss. But other than that, Tony Pollard's looked really good in camp. Really good in preseason games. Had a touchdown against the Los Angeles Rams. Looked really good. No problem. No harm, no foul, okay? Ezekiel Elliott, of course, is the best, to me, the best running back in football. He's not in camp. He's been the rushing champion 2 out of his first 3 seasons in the NFL. Should have been the rushing champ all 3 of his seasons if Roger Goodell didn't have his head up his tail and suspended him for 6 games. But that's another conversation for another day. Ezekiel Elliott, though, wants a new contract. He wants his money, and he wants it now, and he wants to be the highest paid running back in the NFL. And I don't have a problem with any of that. No problem, no harm, no foul. Jerry Jones, though, your man, speaking to reporters after the game on Saturday evenings, talking to reporters about how Tony Pollard has looked. Ezekiel Elliott, about his contract situation and how things are going with that. Memphis, let's play the sound of my man Clarence Hill asking Jerry Jones about Tony Pollard and how he responded with relation to Ezekiel Elliott.
Is Pollard your best negotiator with Zeke?
Who?
Pollard.
Zeke Who?
He's got you on camera.
We're having fun.
He got you on camera.
We're having some fun. Not at your expense.
But seriously, let's talk about what he's done and just continuing to show.
He just, now I will say this, that was a critical blitz pickup that got our quarterback killed. You got to be able to make that block.
Okay.
But what's amazing for him to come in here, and he hadn't done that much. He knows exactly what to do, and he knows how to do it. So it is. He goes out there and he plays to that level, and he's going to be, if he continues this through the next several weeks, he's going to be right in the middle of it early. Mm-hmm. And that will really complement what we're doing with Zeke.
Okay.
Not replace that, and I mean that, not replace it, and nobody's getting cute here, but it'd certainly be a great compliment to have a great running game with I can picture those guys in the same sets at the same time out there and really giving those defenses fits.
Yeah. Ezekiel Elliott heard that. Not only did Ezekiel Elliott hear that, his agent, Rocky Arsenault, heard that. And here is what Rocky Arsenault had to say, Ezekiel Elliott's agent, about that quip from your man Jerry Jones about Zeke Who. Quote, this is from Rocky Arsenault, Ezekiel Elliott's agent, says, quote, "I didn't think it was funny, and neither did Zeke. We actually thought it was disrespectful," quote, end quote. Oh, boy. This is not good. Now, look, let's get some perspective on this, okay? Ezekiel Elliott has had a lot of things buried by your man, Jerry Jones. In fact, Jerry Jones has done a lot for Ezekiel Elliott. You can find out why and what, because the laundry list is quite long. In fact, Ezekiel Elliott just came off of a situation where he just foiled an extortion plot attempt against him from that top flight security out in Las Vegas trying to extort him out of $500,000 in a meeting with Jerry Jones, Ohio State, and Cowboys tickets for a year, this, that, and the third. You could see the reports on that. So it's not like Ezekiel Elliott at times has put himself in the best position. But for Jerry Jones, even in a jokingly manner, to say Zeke Who is kind of disrespectful, in the words of your man Rocky Arsenault and Ezekiel Elliott. Now, look, man, Tony Pollard's been really good. He's been excellent. As Jerry talked about, the Cowboys have taken notice of what your man is doing. But what you cannot do is be disrespectful in negotiations when your most important player is still sitting on the sidelines. I don't care if the Cowboys go 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 10-2, however many games Ezekiel Elliott decides to miss, because I think that's where we're headed. And this comment, to me, does not help the idea of Ezekiel Elliott getting back on the football field, because now what you've managed to do, Jerry, whether jokingly or not, is you've managed to get Ezekiel Elliott upset when there was no reason to. He already feels disrespected by the fact that the Cowboys haven't come to the table to make him the highest paid running back in the NFL. And the reasons why they haven't done that is because they're trying to say, Zeke, we got to take care of everybody else. Zeke says, to heck with everybody else. I'm the best player on this football team. I'm the reason Dak Prescott's about to get over $30 million. I'm the reason that this defense is as fresh and is as good as they are, because I'm running the football down teams' throats to the tune of the highest yards per game average ever since I set foot into this league in 2016. I'm the reason why the Dallas Cowboys are in position to be considered a potential Super Bowl contender, because it's me. I'm the straw that stirs the drink. I'm the best thing going since Emmitt Smith ever set foot on this football field. That is me, Ezekiel Elliott, best running back in the NFL. Pay me. Show me the money. Show me the money. That's all that this has come down to. Show me the money. Jerry's like, nah, I'm not showing you the money. You know why? Because I got to pay Dak. I got to pay Amari. I got to pay Byron Jones. I got to pay Jalen Smith. I got to pay Leighton Vander Esch. I got to pay all these other dudes. And we talked about this earlier. This is what happens when you draft well and you've got a team on a rookie contract at the quarterback position and you're trying to win now. Dudes' contracts are going to come up. And here's the thing. Ezekiel Elliott's a running back. The shelf life of a running back is very short, and the window is very small. You see why Melvin Gordon's trying to cash out even after one productive season in the NFL. That is why he's trying to cash out. Ezekiel Elliott's like, look, man, I got 3 years of this under my books. I've been healthy all three of these years, and the only reason why I missed those 6 games is because Roger Goodell suspended me when he shouldn't have. So now Ezekiel Elliott's looking like, look, man, I don't need you disrespecting me and my agent and disrespecting me talking about Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard's done nothing. He's played against a bunch of number 2s and number 3s and looked good doing it. I've done it in the biggest games on the biggest stages for 3 years. And you're talking about some Zeke Who? Jerry Jones is making this so painfully unnecessary to have these kinds of conversations and have these kinds of jokes come out. And look, and for a guy who's in Dallas, who is an unapologetic Dallas Cowboy fan, and have been so since the time I was in diapers, this is absolutely infuriating to watch this unfold in the unnecessary manner that it has unfolded in over the last several weeks. Again, I do not have a problem with Ezekiel Elliott holding out. I do not, because he's earned every single dime of it. And here's the rub with all of this. Jerry Jones is a very prideful man. He has a lot of money and a lot of businesses, and it's spread out over a lot of different industries, and he's been successful for years and years and years. But here's the rub with Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones does not like to be embarrassed. Jerry Jones does not like to be made a fool of. Jerry Jones is a businessman, to quote Jay-Z. He is a business, and what he's not going to do is jeopardize what he believes is best for business. I understand that from Jerry's point of view, but Jerry also understands this, and has understood it from the time that he owned the Dallas Cowboys to the time that he unceremoniously fired Tom Landry, to the time he brought in Jimmy Johnson, to the time that he got rid of Jimmy Johnson, and the time he brought in Barry Switzer, and they haven't won a championship since 1996. Jerry Jones values one thing above all else: winning. And if you put Ezekiel Elliott in a position where he says, you know what, Jerry, I'm going to sit out because this is the only leverage to me based on, yes, all the accomplishment that Ezekiel Elliott has put forth on the football field his first 3 seasons. He's got that leverage. The things off the football field kind of makes it a push with the things he's accomplished on the football field, with the things he's done off the football field. So it's kind of a push there. The leverage that Ezekiel Elliott ultimately has is sitting out football games and let the Dallas Cowboys, even with a tough first-place schedule, go 0-2, 0-3, 1-4, 2-5, whatever have you, and let that be a reason why Ezekiel Elliott is still sitting back on the off the field and watching these games. Jerry Jones doesn't like losing. He hates losing even more than being embarrassed. And if that's the case, and Ezekiel Elliott's on the sidelines and the Cowboys are losing football games, Jerry Jones will have to blink first. He doesn't want to blink first. That's why he's playing hardball in negotiations. He doesn't want to blink first. It's a different situation.
But what if they're winning?
Even I've said on this show, look, I don't care if the Dallas Cowboys go 3-0, 5-0, 6-0, 10-1, however many games Ezekiel Elliott misses, and they're still winning football games. It's not because they're better without Ezekiel Elliott. That's not the case. They're better with him on the football field. And if he's not on the football field, the Cowboys ultimately can't get to where they want to go based on the expectations on what this football team has on both sides of the ball. The Cowboys think that they can get to a Super Bowl this year, contingent on Ezekiel Elliott being on the football field, not without him. So I don't care if the Cowboys go 16-0. I don't care if the Cowboys get all the way to the NFC Championship game. If they get to the NFC Championship game and lose and Ezekiel Elliott's not on the football field, guess what the reason is they could have went to a Super Bowl? Is if Ezekiel Elliott was on the football field.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Exactly. So I don't want to hear all of this from Jerry Jones. Get it together, Jerry, and fix it. Oh, boy.